it's someone that's sedentary. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, both of us experienced, when I first started running, the weight was dropping off like crazy, but your body, I think, adjusts.
What's up, people? How you doing? This is your coach Nishant Bhardwaj. I'm an Ironman certified coach. I'm a marathon coach, and I've been training for 15 years. I am super excited today because I am gonna be chatting up with one of my friends, Instagram friends. We connected a couple of years back. His name is Ryan Lange. He is from Philadelphia, USA, and he currently resides in New Jersey. And why is this conversation so exciting? Because he is the youngest person on this planet Earth to finish one of the longest races on planet Earth, which is called as MOAB240, which is roughly 381 kilometers long race. And this dude did it in 86 hours. So without further ado, let me welcome you, Ryan. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Nish, thank you for having me on, man. You really gave me quite the hype up there. And I appreciate you inviting me on, even though we're halfway across the world from each other. It's still great to have like-minded conversations with a good individual.
Welcome to the show. It is an absolute honor to have you, especially the young guns, the achievers. When people, when people at your age are just boozing away or just struggling through college. There is this guy who trains for 20 hours a week, 25 hours.
Yeah, just about.
Goes ahead and, does not hallucinate, but actually gets high on running. 86 hours, like how and why? Why, Ryan?
The why part, honestly, I couldn't really answer that in the beginning. But now reflecting and looking back, my why became, I started to, so let me back up. I was a pretty overweight individual going into college. I was going down that booze hound, getting hammered all the time, partying all the time mentality. But then I started to follow, some big names in running, Cam Hanes, David Goggins, started to get a little bit more inspired, threw myself into the fire with running. And I developed a passion for the process of working up, crossing the finish line at whatever race it is, and then celebrating. That was my why. I enjoyed building myself up, celebrating, and then repeating that process.
Do you hear that, guys? It's not just about getting into something and then, looking at short term. Whenever you're looking to set goals for yourself, set long-term goals, set goals that are exciting enough for you to achieve and for you to pursue. Because, if you are looking for short-term gratification, if you're looking for something to get high on for like a day or two, that thing is gonna vanish. But when you have giant, hairy, big-ass goals like Ryan did, it just makes your life a little more meaningful. Am I right, Ryan?
Absolutely. It gives you a little bit more purpose. I definitely found purpose because now I'm on this show with you. And I'm telling people about what I've done. And hopefully, let's say 100 people are listening. Maybe I inspired 2 to go out and really push themselves. That is why I'm here. That's why I'm on this planet. And that's why I continue to do big races and challenge myself so that I can influence other people to challenge themselves.
Superb, man. So before we dive deeper into the demon of this race and how and the why you did it, tell us something about yourself and a little bit about your background, where you grew up and what you're doing currently.
Definitely. So I grew up playing football American football. As a young kid, I was never really a runner until I got to college and wanted to lose weight. I am very big into anything outdoors, snowboarding, running, hiking, biking, going to music festivals is a big thing of mine. So I'm definitely an all-around outdoor guy. And I grew up here around the Philadelphia area, but I'm moving to Denver, Colorado in about a month and a half now to pursue the life of running in the beautiful mountains and being in a beautiful environment.
Wow. So does that mean you're going to be pursuing your the business side of it or professional side of it into the sports? Is that what you're saying?
I don't. Are you saying like pursuing more so of like creating business within the sport?
So yeah, are you gonna be like earning your bread and butter through running and related activities?
I don't think so. I don't think making money, unless you're a coach, I don't think there's too much money to be made unless you're a coach or you're really super fast and super good. And although, yes, I can go very long distance, I am not super fast like Courtney Dauwalter, Ben Light, and some of these guys. So I don't foresee making money in the sport for sure. But just having the lifestyle where, I plan on getting a dog when I go out there. Me and the dog, get in the truck, go to a mountain, run up the mountain, come back home on a Saturday and grill up a bunch of food while I'm staring at mountains rather than being in 95% humidity and no mountains.
Wow. That is I'm sure that is one of the most offbeat kind of a career path or a life that you want to build for yourself, especially knowing that you're currently living in New Jersey where most of the people around you would be corporates and, into choosing this kind of a path must be either difficult or it has to be crazy. And I can definitely put you in the crazy category because kind of races.
Yeah. So, and honestly, Nish, I have more friends that I genuinely enjoy hanging out with that live out there than here. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's nice.
So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your education background and why are you not choosing to pursue the normal corporate path?
Definitely. That's a great question. So I went to Drexel University in Philadelphia. They have what's called a co-op program there. So us students go to school for 6 months. We have no summer break. We get hired by a company full-time for 6 months, and we do that 3 times. And then we have to do 18 months of school at the end. So we're in school a total of 5 years, but I got to go and work at these big corporations for 6 months at a time. And I've realized that it's not what I want to do. It's not the lifestyle I want to live. I want to be able to go on a run, go outside, go camping whenever I want to. And I can talk about it a little bit later, but the ultra running mentality, marathons, Ironmans, it's all you. It is all you putting in the work. It is all you being disciplined. No one's telling you what to do. So now I'm translating that mentality and that lifestyle into business. I've started one business myself, Gen Z. I designed a new hydration backpack, and now we're getting into more outdoor bags and apparel. Starting another company, Persistent Design and Marketing, because I now know how to develop products. People come to me and they ask, Ryan, I want to make a purse. How do I do it? And at first I was obviously helping them, but now it's like, wow, I can essentially be a consultant for these people. So I'm all in and going out in Colorado, making it happen myself and living on my own clock, because I prefer being able to go to work on Saturday from 10 to 4 and getting stuff done, so I could not do anything maybe Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the mentality that I built with running, and now I'm putting into my personal and business life.
That sounds awesome. I think across the world, whenever I interact with my friends in various other locations like Dubai, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, I see that there is a shift happening in the lifestyle choices itself. A lot of my friends, like I'll talk about a friend of mine who's in Dubai. So he was a chartered accountant and he was working for the Big Four organizations. He quit his job about, I think, 6-7 years back. He became an Ironman coach. Now he's also a fitness trainer. He's also, I don't know what all certifications he's done. This dude is like killing it in Dubai. He's training all sorts of people from around the world, and he says that he's living his dream.
That's awesome.
He had a corporate life for about, I think, 10 years before he decided to quit. And like most of us runners, he also had the overweight sort of story. In fact, I have similar background as well. I'll tell you about that as well. So now he says that he's at least 10x happier with probably less or equal money.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. So yeah, in fact, just before we were about to get on this chat, we had this discussion that how you started running because of your weight issues. I had a similar story when I was about 17 years old, which is 2005. Yeah, 2005, 6. I was 113 kilos, which is
wow.
Which roughly translates into what, 235 pounds.
Yeah. Wow. You were big too. I was about 235. That was my biggest. What are you now?
So currently I'm around 90 kilos, which is around
nice.
200 pounds, which is still higher.
Nice.
That's fine. I mean, with that's mostly muscle mass.
Yeah, exactly.
So then my dad, who's in the army that time, he sort of started pushing me and then told me to get into running. So he taught me the basic 5-kilometer runs, what the army people do in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. He told me to get into it. And I started running, and then I have not stopped since then. Running.
Nice.
In fact, I think whenever you start any new sport, especially running, in the first couple of years, it gives you like a massive gains in terms of losing the weight and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I don't know. Now it doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it tapers out. And I think I've been thinking a lot about it. I've been reading up on it. I think because our body, I think we don't burn as much energy. Our resting heart rate is lower. Our blood pressure is lower. I think you and I just sitting here, we burn a heck of a lot less calories than we do at someone that's sedentary. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, both of us experienced, when I first started running, the weight was dropping off like crazy, but your body, I think, adjusts and plateaus, which I think is okay, because for the long term, I think that's what longevity is. Yeah. When we're not sitting here and our heart's not beating as fast as most other people, we're going to live longer. That's just common sense to me. I'm no scientist. I'm no nutritionist, but that's kind of the presumption, what I've made.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you have to say for people who, people come to me and they have, the first question that they ask is, I want to run a half marathon or a full marathon, or I want to do a Ironman 70.3, but how much weight will I lose? So what do you have to say to that?
Well, the question, I don't think you should really worry about the weight. It's going to come off regardless. If you're doing this to lose weight, if you're doing an Ironman, something like that, to lose weight, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And I think that's one of the ways that you will not finish that race. But if you're getting up because you want to better yourself and you want to see that finish line and feel that success, you will finish. If you're doing it because you want to like look good in pictures, that's usually where people are going to fail. So
that's awesome. I just have good goosebumps because of this exact reason. I keep telling people the exact same thing. Like, dude, you have to find your why. You have to know why you want to do this. And that why has to be strong enough, not for 1 day, not for 2 days, not for 10 days. It has to be so strong that, you're able to sustain for a year. Who likes to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and, just when the world is sleeping, and they'll be sleeping till like 8 a.m. People, the Ironman athletes or ultra runners have already like done probably 20 kilometers of run or 13 miles or something. So I was. Sorry, go ahead. I was listening to strong. The why has to be something that is really meaningful to you, and that can bring positive change, not only in your life, but the people who follow you. And do it for the people, do it for yourself, and do it for that one reason that will change you and everyone around you.
I get a high off of people that respond to me or reach out to me and say, hey, I was inspired by what you've done and I just did this. That is my drug. I love hearing people say that. But to touch on what you just said, I was listening to Jocko Willing's, I don't know if you know him, super tough guy, was a Navy SEAL.
I've been hearing him from last 3-4 years.
He's crazy. So he said when he was in Navy SEALs, they would go out to like the bars after, I don't know. And some of the SEALs, this was before you got to Hell Week and all that crazy stuff, were, talking up to girls like, yeah, I'm a Navy SEAL, we're doing this, this, and this. And Jocko was like, what? These guys are like flaunting. They're like bragging about being in SEAL training. It's like not the reason I'm here. And those were the guys that ended up quitting because they were there for the wrong reason. They weren't there for their greater why.
Wow. That is an amazing story. Yes, that is for sure. I mean, this guy, you should check his Instagram out, guys. this guy wakes up at 4:30 a.m. regardless of what. And this guy can buy anything. This guy can get sponsored by anything. But Jocko Willing wakes up at 4:30. He has that old Timex watch. It's now broken. It says Ironman edition, which is like, I don't know, 30 years old or something. This guy wakes up. He makes sure that he gets it done. Regardless of what is happening in the world, he gets it done, and he gets it done for his clients as well. So a great guy to follow for sure.
Definitely.
Ryan, I think you've had interaction with Cameron Hanes as well.
Yeah, Cam is a very, very humble. I call Cam my spark plug. Cam is the reason.
Would you like to tell who Cameron Hanes is? And
I apologize. Yes.
Why you should listen to his story.
So Cam Hanes, super inspirational guy. He started off as a bow hunter, very big bow hunter, and he wanted to become a better bow hunter. And what he does is he's traveling, walking for days at a time. And when he gets a big kill, let's say he kills a big bull, he needs to carry all the meat on his pack out. And that could be for miles. So he started to get into very long distance running at an earlier age than most, and became, started to build himself up big time. And then when these 200-mile races were coming out, Cam did them, and I followed Cam. I was super inspired. But what Cam always says is he's average. Everyone else is most people are average. It all comes down to just simply being the person to go out and to make it happen. Very, very inspirational. And I took on that, basically what Cam was saying. Like Cam says, if he can do it, so can you. It's just putting in the work. So I took that on, started doing ultra running. I heard about this MOAB240. Cam was doing it, and I was like, what do I have to lose? So I call Cam my spark plug because he threw me in to all the craziness in life, and kind of showed me that no matter what it is, you can accomplish it. It's just going to take a lot of work.
Wow. There was this phase. I used to follow him like all the time. There was this phase. This dude used to work out 3 to 4 times a day. He used to do like half marathons during his lunch hour. Go back. He used to go work out in the gym in the morning, then go for a run at lunchtime. Come back in the evening. He would go for a run again. This dude was doing like a marathon a day for for 3-4 weeks, and I don't know if he still does it, but amazing guy.
No, he's awesome. His brother Tylor is also a beast too. He came in 3rd at the Tahoe 200 2 years ago when I was there. So he's beast too. Wow.
Ryan, would you be kind enough to tell us a little bit about these badass ultra races, which are like 200 milers? Guys, 200 milers means 360 kilometers or so, like 330, 340 kilometers, these kind of races. So like, what does it take to do these kind of races, and how should one get started? And what does it take, like how much money does it take to register, practice, and those kind of intricate details for someone who's like just a marathoner?
Definitely. So I'll start from like the training aspect all the way to like the actual race, the cost and everything. So the physical training, I went pretty crazy, not as much as you'd think. So in my peak training, like 3 or 4 months, I was doing about 80 miles a week. So that how many kilometers is 80 miles about?
125 kilometers, 130 kilometers?
Per week. Yeah. And so you have to get into physical shape enough, but there becomes a point where being in the greatest physical shape, it doesn't matter for these races. It matters more up here. It is all a mental fight. Wow. And also it is all, you have to learn and teach and train your stomach to be able to digest food while you're running. And I'm not talking about just these gels or blocks. I'm talking about burgers, quesadillas, chicken, sausages, like anything, because when you're going for 86 hours, you need to eat real nutrients. You can't survive off of these sugar gels and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, this is my personal preference. I really keep sugar consumption to a bare minimum, especially when I'm running. I use electrolytes that are only like a half gram of sugar, mainly just salt. It kind of just tastes like salt. but sugar really screws up my stomach. And especially if you're consuming sugar all day for days and days, your stomach's going to get sick of it. So it is more so training your brain, mental capacity to be able to go through that, and training your stomach to digest the food. You could get in the greatest physical shape, but if you don't have those, you're done. You're not going to make it past 80 miles. So my training was definitely a lot, but it wasn't super crazy. So then getting ready and preparing for the race, the first 240, I had no idea really what I was doing. This was the 11th month that I had started ultramarathon running. So I wasn't even a year into running. Me and my dad, who's my crew, we were just kind of like, whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm very thankful I had him. So that's another thing. In these big races, even just 100 milers, you need to have a crew and people to rely on you, because when you come in at mile 80, mile 180, and you are whacked out, crying, everything hurts, you need someone that's going to be there for you and know what to feed your body, the words to feed your brain, and how to take care of you. To sidestep a little bit, my dad and my brother make fun of me. They joke and say they travel around all these mountains just to hear me cry and change my socks. But it's fun. It's so awesome. My dad calls it's essentially like car racing. I'm the car, they're the pit crew. So like, it's fun for them too, for me to come in an aid station, figure out how to tune up the car and send the car back out. You know what I mean? So, and also it's me and my dad would have never gone to MOAB together. We would have never gone to Lake Tahoe together, to the Cascade Mountains together, to some random place in Ohio. Like, it's fun adventures with my family too. So coming race day, it needs to be fun. You need to go in with the mindset of, I'm going to have fun. Fun, finish, win. That's how my grandpa always says it. If you had fun, great. If you finished, even better. If you came in first place, wow. So if you start out like that, fun, finish, win, you're good. Because these races are fun. When I am completely sleep deprived and I have like my pacer with me, and a pacer is someone who runs with you at times, you know, in the middle of the night to make sure that you're not going crazy. You start getting to this point of pain where it's just funny and you're laughing and you're seeing things. And when I say you're actually seeing things, it's because you're not sleeping. So your brain can actually not process what you're seeing fast enough. So you actually start to see things that are not there. Wow. And that's no exaggeration. Courtney Dauwalter is famous for seeing cheetahs in hammocks. A couple times when I was alone at Bigfoot, I kept thinking I saw snipers aiming their guns at me. So I would be running and like ducking and like thinking there's someone there, and I peek and I notice, okay, it's not someone. Or once I thought I saw a pack of dogs, like just out, you know, meandering around like up a mountain, and I was calling the dogs. I was like, puppies, come here, come here. And as I got closer up the mountain, there was no dogs. Wow. So that's a very fun aspect of it. And another thing I love to tell people about, I love food, and these races are excuses to do nothing but eat food. You cannot eat enough food on these races. I'll roll into an aid station, and I have a full documentary of running the Tahoe 200 that I'll send you the link to, that you can probably put in the comments below here. And there's one clip of me rolling in an aid station, and my pacer goes, do you want a cheeseburger or soup or cheeseburger, soup, or chicken sandwich? And I was like, I'll have all three, please. So yeah, that's a lot. And also the cost, it is, I will not, tell you wrong. It is definitely expensive for these races. Yeah. For all the good reasons though. Candace, the race director of the Tahoe 200 MOAB Bigfoot, she does an amazing job. I've done a lot of races in my career. She is by far the best, hands down. You know, when you roll into an aid station and you have all this food at your service, you have all these people there to help that are volunteers. You have she's got tracking down to the satellite, so she can always find you. Like, it's $1,000 for a reason. And also, the community that you're jumping into, a lot of very cool people. You know, the ultra running community is a lot of crazy people like myself, So, I mean, I guess that's why I like it, because I relate to these people.
Yeah.
But, flight was about $300. Then, renting a car or a van is another like $600-ish. So all said and done, between gear, food, stuff like that, it's around $2,500 just to do this race.
But
so it's
worth it. That is a lifetime of memories, lifetime of badassery and bragging rights, right?
Absolutely. And it gets me, and the way I like to think of it is, now I'm talking to you right now, having this conversation and hopefully inspiring other people just through telling about my story. You understand? That $2,500, if I can inspire 150 people, totally worth it. For sure.
For sure. Ryan, that was an amazing story. I am very sure that people in India would certainly get motivated by that. So the running culture in India is not very old when it comes to organized races. The biggest race in India is currently Tata Mumbai Marathon, which happens in Mumbai. It started around 2003, and that is one of the flagship events that happens. And currently it has more than 50,000 participants that come on over. So this just started in 2003. Though obviously running being the most natural thing that you can do, people have been running for years and years. But running culture per se is brand new in India. And most of the ultra races which happen here are around 50 kilometers, which is roughly, I think, 30 miles, 35 miles. And then we have a couple of longer races as well, 100 milers. And then we have one of the longest races and the highest races in the world, which is called as the Leh 555 kilometers, which is, I think, roughly translates into, 300 milers or something.
Wow.
Yeah, at Khardungla Valley, that is like the highest peak motorable road also in the world. This should be, I'll get my facts right, we'll put it on the show notes. But that, I think that is at more than 10,000 feet. And that's like 505 kilometers. So that's the longest that we have. Yeah, and people do that. People from across the world, Indian versions of Navy SEAL, the para commandos, the ultra racers, and people with demons tend to compete for it and then finish it.
Hey, send me the sign-up link to that.
It was supposed to happen in the month of September, but obviously COVID, I think it has been postponed for next year, but certainly do that. I think you should sign up for that. Only about 10-15 odd people are able to finish that, because it's a multi-day race but non-stop, and it's like world's toughest race, I believe, distance-wise and the altitude-wise as well.
Wow, that sounds nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have run my share of half and full marathons, and that's a different story altogether. Like, I share this with a lot of people who listen to me, is that running like a marathon or a half marathon is a different ball game than doing an Ironman is a different thing. And then ultra marathons or the 24-hour runs, the 48-hour stadium runs, 36-hour runs, those are completely different ball game, right? Different different kind of preparation, different types of preparation for the body as well. It takes kind of crazy to do that.
Yeah, I've always been interested in doing an Ironman, but I've never been a swimmer. And I don't own a bike, so that's my other pitfall. But I do want to eventually do an Ironman for sure.
Like easy peasy. You'll do that and then probably go for like a 50 miler or something. No, so triathlon is slightly more technical. It uses not just the endurance, it also uses technical skills, it uses strategy, tactics, a lot of these things put together, and your body is in different states all the different times of the day. So
interesting.
It's a different sport, and we will certainly have a conversation on this maybe in the future shows, right?
Definitely.
Ryan, we are moving to the last part of the show, and I will ask you a few questions. But before we do that, I would like to hear a little more about your startup and a very important question when it comes to the two of us, which is we are trying to create something in the outdoor sports space. And I would like to discuss and have your thoughts as to how this space is growing in the US and, especially in India. And I can also jump in. Maybe we can just have a...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So like I said in the beginning of the show, I'm a very outdoorsy person. Snowboarding, hiking, running, music festivals. So all the time I was wearing a hydration backpack. And I started to figure out different ways, different features that I could add on the hydration pack to make them better and more suitable. So I had my grandmom cut and sew an old running hydration backpack for me and add the features that I desired.
Wow.
So I brought that to a music festival with me, and someone complimented and asked where they could get one. So immediately I was like, okay, I'm up to something here. And a big problem, the problem I was solving was theft at music festivals. It is that 1 in 7 people are stolen from because, people are drunk, they're shoved together. People are just sticking in and pulling stuff out of their backpacks. So I designed, one of the features of the hydration pack was anti-theft. So I got a prototype made, started to work with a manufacturer on getting a legitimate prototype made, and just figured out how to get something that was suitable to ship to Nishant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did a Kickstarter, which I don't know if you're familiar with. It's crowdfunding. So it's essentially like people pre-ordered the hydration pack on Kickstarter from me. That gave me the funds to order the inventory of the hydration packs. And then once I got them in the United States, I started shipping them out to people and started to grow the brand from there. And that was, so I launched my Kickstarter in March of 2019.
Okay.
So I started to learn branding, started to figure out marketing, started to really, learn how to sell better. And then when the music festival scene was people were starting to get ready in February, I was selling very well, designing more products, and then coronavirus hit. So all music festivals were canceled. My main target market was the music festival scene. So now I guess not a pivot, but I'm adapting to the situation now. And this could tie into your second part of your question. We are now heading into a very outdoorsy lifestyle for not just you and I, the entire world. Yep. Big tech companies are giving bonuses to employees to move out of the cities. They don't want to be in the cities anymore. It's too expensive for them to operate there. And now people don't want to be around other people as much naturally because of this pandemic. Sure, let's say they find a vaccine. It's still going to change. People are still going to have a different mindset. Yep. So the new products that I'm developing around that are, chest utility bags for, maybe not a hydration pack. Maybe someone doesn't need that, but essentially a better, more functional fanny pack. And getting into, different bags, because not everyone wants to wear a hydration pack. And I get that. But here I have this new bag that can do this feature, add this benefit, and gives you much better of a reason and capability of going in a hike with your dog for a weekend. So to touch on what you're saying, we are seeing, I think, in the next 5 to 7 years, we will see outdoor sports begin to grow. I think we will see the ultra running community, the Ironman community, all of that continue to grow. The one thing I will have to say that I see as a shortfall is these sports are not sexy, let's call it. NFL football, soccer, soccer is sexy. Basketball, it's sexy. Nike is sponsoring these guys. It's super high energy in the stadiums. We don't have stadiums. We don't have climactic, game-winning shots. We don't have any of that. But what I think can make it, I think there just has to be someone that comes along and just puts on a great production for a 100-mile race and just totally like how golf, they go to different golfers throughout, them playing. I think it should be like that, and honing in with the drone, following Cameron Hanes for a mile and commentating on Cam and his accolades as what he just did the past couple of years, what he's doing, how he's doing on the race, how he was at the last aid station. What is he hallucinating right now? People will watch that. I will pay $10 to live stream that. That's where I think we need to go. Now, how do you do that? There's a problem. What's the solution? Now, this is where and I'm sure your entrepreneurial brain is like, all right, we're envisioning a problem. We're seeing outdoor sports get bigger. How do we capitalize off of that? Yeah. So I see that's what you're doing with coaching for sure. Yeah. But that's more so where my brain is: production, entertainment of it. So
I think for anything to become mass market, there has to be some bit of either entertainment value or a value that sort of enhances your stature in the society or something, that has to be created. Right now, I think there is also a problem of getting people to sign up for these kind of races, for these kind of long-term fitness solutions, because most of the people are looking for short-term solutions, 1 week program, 12-week program, 3 weeks program, and drink 5 kilos and do these burpees and sign up for my home fitness class and lose these kind of 10 kilos in God knows 6 weeks or something. So people, the industry itself needs to evolve from short-term solutions to actually a sustainable lifestyle, and that's where these our outdoor sports like triathlon, marathons, and ultra marathons will come in and sort of get at least a few masses, a few people to get into it, and then get the masses in. And then obviously something like a UFC or that kind of format, the entertainment format has to be there for it to become better. Obviously, by default, brands will come in and then they'll pump in more money on advertising, production, marketing, and then just I think it's like a combination of a lot of problems that need to be solved. But I think let's just begin by motivating a few hundred people and then taking it forward.
Exactly.
Come to the last section of our conversation. This section is called as rapid fire round. I'm going to be asking you a few questions on quick succession. You will hardly have 5 seconds to answer each one of them.
Okay.
You cannot stop in between. You have to just, whatever comes on top of your head, you have to answer.
I'm excited. Let's go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready?
I'm 100% ready. Go.
Let's go. Question 1. Morning training versus night training. Which one do you like?
Morning, 100%. Get it done. Get it over with. Feel good for the rest of the day.
Awesome. Natural foods versus processed foods. What do you like more?
Natural. Not even a question.
Okay. Gels or chewables?
Chewables.
Better? Why? Any specific?
Yeah. Because it doesn't hurt my stomach as much. Can't tell you why. The gels, it's something in it that makes me feel weird.
Okay. A bit of controversial question, but okay. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Hoka, One, or which one is your favorite brand?
Hoka, they are, okay, well, Hoka has the best cushion for sure for your knees, but they fall apart super easy. I don't subscribe Nike, that stuff to people. I think it's too cheap. You need cushion on your feet.
Yeah. Okay. Foam rolling, massage, or no massage?
Massage, 100%. Massage. Wait, don't move.
I wonder what. Oh,
right here, baby. Massage gun. This thing's amazing. Best $200 I've ever spent.
This is awesome. Is it that good?
Oh my, dude, everywhere, my whole body. When you're done, it's like, you feel like you just flushed out everything out of your body. It feels amazing.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Quick question. Black coffee or regular coffee?
Black.
Awesome. In the, just answer 2 things. Which one do you like more on your races? Dates, bananas, pasta, ice cream, brownie, fruits, chewables, whatever. 2 prefer the most.
2 things I prefer the most. Do I have to pick from your list or anything?
Go ahead. Feel free.
Cheez-Its and cheeseburgers.
What are Cheez-Its?
Cheez-Its, they are like an American brand cracker. I guess they're not over in India, but I'll send you a picture of them.
Okay, sure, do that. What's your favorite location to race in one of these ultra races?
Utah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite motivational speaker. Who's your favorite motivational speaker? If you have
motivational speaker,
podcast or whatever that you listen to.
Okay. Well, I go to motivation. I go to Joe Rogan, his podcast. He has a lot of motivational people on there, even if it's not just like the fitness community, just the way of thinking, the way that he brings on interesting people.
And I've been listening to him for last, I think 4 years now. This crazy guy. I think he deserved even more. 100 million buyout by Spotify doesn't even bring that much value. Maybe he should be valued much, much more.
Joe Rogan should be the president of the United States.
All right, let's not push it. Okay, last question. Which is your favorite platform? Social media platform? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, if you are on.
I would say probably YouTube, because you could learn the most from YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Ryan, you chose actually the long form platform as well, like your ultra races and like your mentality. You have been a wonderful, wonderful guest, and I'm actually honored to have you. To be fair, this is actually my first interview also for Trifantry. This is a brand new channel that I've started, and you are the first guest. I am honored to have you today. Thank you so much. Kickstarting.
I appreciate that. You did an awesome job being a host. You definitely did not make it boring at all. You asked great questions, and I appreciate you bringing me on. That was a lot of fun.
It was amazing. Would you like to tell the audience what is your Instagram handle, where they can find you, or any other channels that they can find you at?
Definitely. So my Instagram, which I'm most active on, is raverunner_1, which I'm sure Nishant will put in the show notes. But yeah, leaving statement: be who you are, be authentic, stay put with your crazy vision that you fall asleep thinking about, work your ass off in silence, and get out and make it happen. And then celebrate when you make it happen.
Awesome. That could not have been a better conclusion to the show. Thank you, Ryan.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, Trifantry, click on the bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. Train, endure, conquer.